Yo. Yo. What's going on? Figure I'd jump back on. I got a little drive to the crib. So I figure I'd jump back on my boy Garrison. So he was we were talking about the earlier today I was talking about the teams knew what we were gonna do and they couldn't stop it. Football's about execution. You have to stop it. We know what's coming. Can you stop it? You know what's coming. Can you stop it? And somebody commented it about the Penn State game, how we ran it so much, and they knew what was coming and they couldn't stop it. And Garrison said, was basically saying, oh, well, y'all did that because JJ was hurt, our tackles weren't good, and all this and that, which is fact. Those are facts. But it doesn't stop the point. It doesn't stop the point. The point of the matter is, JJ threw it 8 times in that game. He threw it once in the second half. Well, he threw it twice in the second half. One of them was called. One of them was pass interference, so it was X'd out. So that second half, Penn State knew what was coming. It was going to be a JJ run, Donovan run, Blake run. And yeah, they slowed it down, but they couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it. That's the thing. Because Michigan was at like 5-some yards a carry. They couldn't stop it enough to win the game. And that's all that matters. It don't matter if you slowed it down. Well, you didn't slow it down enough to win, so it don't matter. You knew what was coming. You couldn't stop it. Ball game. You know what I'm saying? Another day, another dollar. Yes, sir. I heard something the other day. A guy told me what he said. Another day, another blessing. I like that one. I like that. Another day, another blessing. But yeah, it don't matter. It doesn't matter if you slow it down a little bit. Could you stop it? The goal is to stop something so you can win. They couldn't stop it enough to win the game. You know what I'm saying? You could say, well, the Michigan defense. Well, Michigan scored 24. Just running the ball. JJ was 7 of 8 for 60 yards in that game. I mean, Alar wasn't much better. Penn State threw for like 78 yards. But the point of the matter is, Michigan ran for 220 some yards. Penn State ran for like 150, I believe. It's a big difference. So whether JJ was, the point of it is, it doesn't matter why we stop throwing the ball. The point is, when we stopped throwing the ball, y'all still couldn't stop us enough to win. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a defensive-minded dude. Once you score 7, if you score 7, hey, defense, win it for me. That's how I think about, defenses and stuff. Once I get 7, it's, hey, shut them down, defense. Shut them down. 7, that's all we can give you on offense is 7. So the rest is on you. That's how I feel about it, because I'm a defensive guy. So, once the situation is at hand, hey, if we want to win this, we're going to have to win it on defense. We're going to have to win it on defense. Our offense can't stop. Our offense is abysmal. And so we're going to have to win it on defense. And we got to stop them from running this ball. They couldn't do it. That's just what it is. You know, they knew what was coming. It wasn't a surprise. We all knew what was coming after a certain point. Michigan is about to run that rock. And anybody that plays Michigan knows what the game plan is. For Michigan to come out and throw on you, you have to have a abysmal pass defense, a la Michigan State. 2021 Michigan State with Cade, you know, the pass defense was horrible then. 2022, I believe it was bad. In 2023, it was horrible also. So besides pretty much Michigan State, the game plan is to run it down your throat. And JJ sparingly, or the quarterback, whether it was Cade, JJ, whoever, sparingly. But the goal is to run it down your throat. Now, how much Michigan runs it down your throat, your defense dictates that. If your defense can't seem to stop it, we're going to continue to run it down your throat. And not only that, some of the Michigan sets are obvious passing down, are obvious run downs. Like, it's obvious they're going to run this ball. They brought in extra linemen. They only have one receiver out there. They're going to run it. There's 9 guys. So we're bringing all those dudes in. The defense that we're going against, they got 9, 10 guys in the box. It's a run. Everybody knows it. We know it. They prepared for it by bringing in more defensive linemen, more linebackers. It don't matter. Those are the best running plays for Michigan. When we make it obvious that we're going to run it. Don't matter. You can't stop it. And that goes back into the point. Football is about execution. You can not like it, you can hate it. It don't change it from being a fact. It's about execution. Penn State, the Penn State game, their pass defense out-executed our pass. Well, let me say it different. Their pass rush out-executed our pass blocking. So you know what we did? We scrapped that game plan. This is chess. It ain't checkers. We can't pass it. JJ's limping. All right. We can't pass block. JJ's limping. All right. That's enough of that. We can't out-execute them trying to pass the ball because our pass protection can't out-execute their pass defense. Can't out-execute them. But, oh, we can run this ball down their throat for 5 yards a carry. Yeah, we can win that way. Can we win that way, y'all? Yeah, we can win that way, coach. Well, let's get it. Let's go get it. And that's what happened. Any way you want to try to change it up, it don't matter. It's still about execution. You know what's coming. Can you stop it? When we realized we couldn't stop your pass rush, you know what we said? That's enough. They about to beat us. We keep trying to pass. They gonna beat us. Nope. I lie. What am I lying about? What am I lying about? Was busting their head with that run game. That's a fact. Might say you lie, bro. What am I lying about? I don't know. I mean, the tail is in the tape. Couldn't pass block. Switch it up because they're out executing us on their pass rush. So we run the ball. Now we out execute them the rest of the game. Ball game. Football is about execution. But am I worried about the QB situation at all? I'm worried about it, of course, like everybody else. It's not that right now I'm not that worried about it. It's just the unknown, because we don't know. They had spring practice. Now they're just doing like 7-on-7 drills. Fall camp is about to start. Once I start getting word out of fall camp, then, I'll be able to piece something together. Right now, it's just like, we don't know, because none of these dudes have started except Tuttle. When Tuttle started at Indiana, he wasn't that good. When he got in backup time in Michigan, he looked good, but it's backup time. It's garbage time. I don't take much from garbage time. You know what I'm saying? I don't take much from the spring game from a quarterback. You know, now like the defense flying around, I can take something from that. You know, I can take something from that, but I can't take a quarterback looking that good in the spring game, because it's still kind of like practice. You're familiar. You know, it's not the game. You know, practicing the game is a whole different story, especially for quarterbacks, because you don't even get hit in practice. The quarterbacks didn't get hit in the spring game, so I can't take that much from it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm worried about it. I'm just not worried about it like, oh my God, because I got trust in the guys that we have. I got some trust in them. You've been in the system this long, and we're not a pass team. Now, if we were a passing team, I'd be worried. I'd be terrified. Like, all right, what are we gonna do? Who's the quarterback? We're a passing team. But the fact that we're a run first team, it doesn't bother me as much, because whether we got a 5-star quarterback or whether we got a dude that's unknown, the game plan is still to run that ball. You know what I'm saying? That's the game plan, to run that rock. So I'm not worried about it as much as others, because I know Michigan is a running team. We're not trying to go out there and throw it 30 times. If we throw it 30 times, something is going wrong in the run game. It's not because we wanted to do that. That's because they're forcing us to do that. Their defense is out executing our run blockers. That's, you know, but besides that, I just want to know more. You know, right now, everybody's just guessing. It's a guessing game. You know, no matter who says it. If it's an Ohio State fan, you guys are good trash at quarterback. He could be right. If it's us and we say, oh, Orji's going to be like Jalen Milroe, it's opinion. We could be right. They could be right. Nobody knows. You know, so that's what worries me, is the unknown of it. Oh, yeah. And the team wants Orji because I think the team wants Orji because, one, you see him. Football, half the battle in football is looking the part. When you see, whether it's a wide receiver, whether it's a defensive lineman, whether it's a safety, whether it's a running back, whether it's an offensive lineman. If I bring two safeties in, let's just say safety for the first one. If I bring in, you don't know who these dudes are. You don't know who they are. Like, let's just say they're freshmen and we don't know them at all. We just see them. If I bring in Bob Sanders, remember Bob Sanders? He was about 5'9", beast of a safety. If I bring in Bob Sanders, 5'9", maybe 200 and something, and I bring in Sean Taylor, we don't know nothing about them. You don't know who they are. They're just there. And I bring in Sean Taylor, you're going to be like, I want him to be my safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know nothing about him, but he looks the part. Now, Bob Sanders is a hell of a safety, but we don't know. We just, you know, that's half of the battle in football, is looking the part. Orji looks like he's a leader. He looks like I'm going to follow him. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, you see how hard he works in the weight room. He's one of us. This dude is putting in the work with us in the weight room, in the facility. You see him grinding. You don't look like that. I mean, some dudes look like that naturally, but you got to work to look like that. You got to put in the work. So that galvanizes your team also, because they see you working just as hard as them. You know what I'm saying? Usually the quarterback is the pretty boy. He's not lifting weights as hard and stuff, not going as hard. You got a dude at quarterback in Orji that he's probably faster or just as fast as some of the skill position players. So you know what I'm saying? That galvanizes guys, because you see this dude and he's starting to talk like the starting quarterback also. You know what I'm saying? So I think all that is why the team wants him. They know that dude is a freak of nature. You know it. Just the same way the fan base is galvanizing towards Orji, the players, they see it too. Like, man, this dude is a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Donovan and we're running the read, they gotta respect Orji. Now you might face more 8 in the box if he can't hit that deep ball, but they're gonna have to respect Orji on that read option. They're gonna have to respect him. It's not even something to think about. They have to respect it. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of that goes into why guys are starting to, it seems like the team is also kind of pointing towards Orji to be their leader. And also, a lot of these dudes came in together. Orji came in with Donovan and Loveland and those dudes. You know? So they're classmates, basically. You know, I think they came in the same recruiting class. I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but I believe. So yeah, you know, I think all that goes into it now. But he still has to, like, the coaches, and I was on M Go Blue, their live just like 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, and the coaches may already have it in, like Sharon Moore, and the coaches might already have it in their head, like, this is Orji's job to lose. Because coaches do that stuff. Coaches will already have the starter in their head. They just won't say anything because they want you to continue to work and to continue to, so everybody puts their best foot forward and works. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to give it to, like, all right, this is Orji's job to lose. But they don't say anything, but in their head, they know, like, unless this dude messes it up, he's going to be the starter. Just show me, just keep showing me you deserve it. But, you know, he's saying it's an open competition, but it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not an open competition. Not to say that it is or not. I'm just giving hypotheticals on how coaches think. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of different ways it could be going. But it definitely seems like Orji is the one, because, and I had somebody replying to one of my videos saying, because I said I would take Orji over Will Howard, but I would take Will Howard over the rest of the quarterbacks in our QB room. And he was like, how can you say that? Orji's never even started a season or a game. Like, how can you say that? And I had to tell him, like, everything you're saying is right. I'm strictly going off of the what if, the if and the ceiling factor of Orji. Because Will Howard is athletic, but he's not that athletic. You know what I'm saying? If Orji can just be around 60% passing, and then what he gives you with his legs, his ceiling is going to be way higher than a Will Howard's. It's just a fact to me. And we're not a passing team. So we're going to run that rock regardless of who the quarterback is. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't tell him he's wrong, because you're right. And hell, I could eat crow for that. Orji, it could be possible Orji turns out to not be that guy, to not be able to be close to 60% passing. And you know what I'm saying? So I just want to, I would want to see it. I want to give that opportunity, because if he turns out to be that dude, the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? If he turns out to be that dude, the sky is the limit. Now you got defenses terrified. They don't know if you're gonna beat them with the deep play action pass. They don't know if Donovan's gonna beat him. They don't know if Orji's gonna beat him. And Orji is a different animal with running. Just like JJ would get 10 yards a pop on those QB powers. He would get about 10 yards, 15 yards a pop almost every time. JJ got a lot of 3rd and longs with his legs on those QB powers. You know what I'm saying? Orji's a different beast because he can inflict pain on the defense. Like, he's 240. He's 240. So short and longs, you can run him and he gonna carry the pile. I feel like everyone's trying to compare Alex to Joe Milton. Joe did not have in spring practice to develop with COVID. Joe Milton and Orji are just two different type of players. Joe Milton didn't want to run. Like that. Joe Milton didn't want to run. He wanted to be a pocket passer. Orji isn't a reluctant runner. Joe Milton was a reluctant runner. So they're just two different players in general. Orji is physical and wants to run. Joe Milton wanted to be a pocket passer. So they're two totally different players. It's just a bad comparison. The only things that are similar between them is they both have cannons and they're both big dudes, and they're black, of course. Those are the only similarities to them. Joe Milton was 6'5", 230, and Alex Orji 6'3", 240. You know what I'm saying? And they both have cannons. The comparison ends there, though. You know what I'm saying? Just off the fact that Joe doesn't want to run it, and Alex Orji, he's a runner. He got put in the game strictly to run it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big difference between them. But my thoughts on Quinn Ewers at Texas talking smack. He still got some Buckeye in him. You know when you get on campus at these schools, it's ingrained in you to well, let's say Ohio State, to not say Michigan, the team up north, all that type of stuff. It's ingrained in you. So he still got some of that in him, you know what I'm saying the team up north and stuff like that. He wants to beat Michigan for the Buckeyes. Boy, you ain't no Buckeye no more. You ain't no Buckeye, but okay, we're gonna treat you like one. If that's what you want. If that's what you want to get treated like, we're gonna treat you like one. Like you a Buckeye. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But he's gonna have it. He's gonna get everything he wants, because Michigan is not the defense for a quarterback to be. Honestly, you probably got a better chance at running the ball and being successful than throwing it on Michigan. You know, similar to Penn State. Penn State ran it pretty good on us last year, at least. You know, Penn State ran it pretty good, but then the quarterbacks get hell. They're getting hell with all those different looks, those NFL scheme looks. All those guys looking like they're blitzing and then dropping out. You know, those disguised blitzes. You're gonna have hell if you can't run the ball. You're gonna have hell going against Michigan. So he gonna have his work cut out for him. Quinn Ewers, that is. Mm-hmm. Stacking the box doesn't easily. A good run team stacking the box doesn't shut them down. Now, if your offensive line isn't that good, yeah, stacking the box can. But I've seen Blake kill a stacked box. I've seen Donovan kill a stacked box. We've seen a stacked box only shows that you're committed. That don't mean you can stop it with them 8 guys. That don't mean you can stop it with them 9 guys. A stacked box don't save you. I mean, you would think it would, but it don't save you. It'll slow it down, but it ain't gonna save you. You still got to execute and have good tackling, good gap integrity. Like, just putting guys in the box, that don't stop a good or great running team. That just says, okay, we got your attention. Our run game has your attention, but you still got to stop it. You know what I'm saying? You still got to stop it. Because just because the guys are in the box, let's say it's a read and there's 8 in the box, and Orji keeps it. He keeps it, and when he maybe shouldn't have. That don't just mean that dude that he's one-on-one with is gonna be able to stop him. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that edge defender is ready to deal with him. You get what I'm saying? You still have to execute. Just cause you showed, okay, I stayed at home. I got Alex Orji. Alex Orji ain't just gonna lay down for you. Oh, you're in the right place. Okay, I'm done. Don't work like that. He still has to make the play. That's just the start of it. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, Aiden the box, he still has to throw it, of course, to so the offense can be what we want it to be. Of course, we don't want to run it every time, but them having 8 in the box, that don't just mean we're not going to be able to execute our run game. You know what I'm saying? But he has to show that he can throw the ball downfield. He has to show that. So I'm agreeing, but I'm adding something to it. Because we saw plenty of times. We've had plenty of games, 8 in the box, and Blake and Donovan still going for 60. Blake making 3 dudes miss, going for 60. Donovan just outrunning dudes, making a dude miss and outrunning everybody. You know what I'm saying? But they still, point is, with Orji, he's gonna pull a guy away because you have to account for him. You have to account for a dude that big and that fast. But yeah, I'm not agreeing with you. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, he has to show that he can hit passes downfield if he's the starter, of course. He has to showcase that, but, you know, because if he doesn't and he's still the starter, yeah, you're gonna see 8 in the box, 9 in the box, like, all right, y'all ain't even threatening us. We're here, you know. And if you got a good, fundamentally sound, well coached, and a good tackling defense, it's gonna be a long game. And that's when you get one of those defensive battles, you know, like, man, Man, this is some bull. Hey, this is some bull. A la Illinois, Illinois, Illinois from 2022. Illinois, Michigan 2022. My God. Now that was some bull. That was some bull. Blake got hurt. Because if Blake doesn't get hurt, we probably run it down their throat. And I think Donovan was already hurt. Yeah, I think Donovan was already hurt dealing with the hand. And then when Blake got hurt, he came back for Ohio State. Because it was like, all right, if we ain't got Blake or Donovan, we ain't going to be able to beat Ohio State. So Donovan came back, got his hand wrapped, and he only ran it with his left, kept the ball in his left the whole time or whatever. So that Illinois game, it'll be like that, where we both were struggling to run it. Illinois' pass defense was just as good as their run defense, so JJ could barely get anything off. We couldn't get guys open at all. So if Orji's the starter, we're gonna be in a lot of games like that. If he's the starter and he can't throw it downfield, it's gonna feel like that, where we have to make every game a slugfest. And it's basically whoever can execute a few plays on a crucial drive is gonna win it, or whoever's defense can make a big time turnover and maybe get a score on defense is gonna win it. We'd have to be like Iowa almost, you know what I'm saying, against those good defensive teams. Don't nobody want to. It's great. It's nice to have a great defense, but you don't want to have to win the game, every game from your defense. Because some teams, even if Orji can't throw it and he's the starter, if he can't throw it well and he's the starter, some teams still won't be able to stop our run game, and we're just going to grind them out and we'll win the game 20-10. We'll grind them out and we'll win it 23 to 17 or 23 to 14. That's an ugly way to win. I don't want that. I'm just saying, but somebody's got to be able to be a good game manager. Somebody, whether it's Orji, whether it's Tuttle, whether it's Davis Warren, hell, last resort is Jaden Davis. All right, we got to put the freshman in. That's the last resort, putting the freshman in. The freshman gonna make freshman mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So somebody can be a game manager. I got faith and trust that somebody can be a game manager. It ain't like we asking them to throw it 30, 40 times. But with our harder schedule, there probably will be a game or two where he might have to throw it 30 times, with the tougher schedule. So that's the thing. Let's see. Thoughts on this defensive depth come fourth quarter? The depth that worries me is corner. A little bit. Safeties are fine with the transfers we got. Linebackers fine for the most part. It's really defensive. It's really edge, I would say. I know they say Etta is a beast because he can play edge or defensive tackle. It's really how deep does that defensive line go? How far along is Rashawn Benny? Is Rashawn Benny back? Because I know TJ Guy is on the edge. You can probably get some Cole. You could probably put Cole Sullivan on the edge, but he has to learn the system. He has to be comfortable in that system because sometimes he's going to drop out. So those dudes, TJ Guy, Cole Sullivan could probably play edge. Barham can play on the edge also, which helps. And so it's kind of D tackle ish. I'd say right now the depth, you probably got seven, maybe 8 guys that you probably trust. And it could be more. We don't really know just yet because the season, we're not in fall camp. So we don't know for sure. Once we get further in fall camp, we'll find out exactly how deep the D line is. But that's the worry, because you want to be 8 deep at defensive line. You want to be 8 deep, so you can sub these guys out and make sure they're fresh in the fourth quarter. You want to be 8. I'm not confident on an 8 just yet, but once we get halfway through camp, we'll start finding out exactly how deep that D line is. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'd say 7. I'd say 7, 8. I'd say 7 for sure. TJ Guy's a stud right now. He looks like it's his turn to be in that rotation for sure. Rashawn Benny, we know he's a stud. We just don't know how far along he is in his recovery. And they say Etta, so that's 7 right there. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know exactly how far along Rashawn Benny is. So got to find that out first. Because he could be back, but he might not be back to himself. You know what I'm saying? Rashawn Benny is a stud. Rashawn Benny will play you sideline to sideline. He's similar to Kenneth Grant with being big and being agile. Well, I guess all of them are. Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, and Rashawn Benny. They're all those agile kind of defensive tackles. So I'd say 7. I'd say 7 right now. You want to have it 8. You want to have 9 because somebody gonna get hurt. Somebody gonna get dinged up. But yeah, that's the real worry. If that defensive line can go 8, 9 deep, oh, defense is straight. Corner, McBurrows, honestly, I'm not even that worried about corner with the guys they got from the guys they got, the transfer guys they got at corner, and then McBurrows and Jair Hill. I'm not really that worried about corner. Then you got Zeke at the nickel. Zeke or McBurrows at the nickel. I'm not sure who's going to be outside. If it's going to be McBurrows or is McBurrows and Zeke. I think Zeke is locked in at that nickel. So McBurrows may get that starting outside corner spot. I'm not for sure. I'd like him to, because I like that McBurrows is a hitter. So that brings even more physicality. If you got Will Johnson, Zeke at the nickel, and McBurrows on the other outside, you got 3 physical corners that'll come up and smack you. McBurrows is a hitter. He'll smack you. He was getting in as a freshman, coming in smacking dudes. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see though. It might be the transfer, the transfer from FCS. He may take that corner spot, and McBurrows and Zeke are fighting it out for that nickel. Let's see. What up, Johnny? I wish you would call in to 97.1 with Mike Valenti with the sign stealing stuff. Oh yeah. I'll let these dudes have it with that sign stealing stuff, because it's lazy. The sign stealing stuff as a talking point is a lazy take for dudes that really don't understand football. That's all it is. If you just want to talk trash, it's a good one for you. If you want to talk trash to a Michigan fan, like, y'all cheated, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But when you're really talking football, it doesn't hold up. Real football guys know it doesn't hold up. You got to execute. You got to execute. That's what it stops and ends there. You can know the play. It don't matter. You got to execute it. You can know, just like if you're on offense, you can know the defense that they're in, but do they execute that defense better than you execute your offensive play? That's all it's about. You know what I'm saying? So the lazy takes, it's an easy lazy take. I get it. If I'd probably use it here and there if I was on the other side, you know. But I'm a football dude, so I know you can't sign stealing. You ain't getting away with that. You got to execute. It's like 2018, 2019. We could have had Ohio State's plays. It didn't matter. Metellus was Olave and them dudes. They was gonna out execute Metellus. I was watching the game with Devin Gardner. I think Metellus was a freshman out there. I think that was him. It might not have been him. I think he just had his number, and it reminded me of Metellus getting torched. Don't matter. You have to execute. You have to have guys that can execute. Hell, I remember 2017. Metellus jumps a pass. He drops the pick. He couldn't complete the play. Couldn't even complete the play. Like, dang, bro, you done did everything right. And you done did everything right and didn't even get the dividends from doing it. Didn't even get the dividends. When you're a defensive back and you jump a play, you've done everything right. Like, okay, I done jumped the play, I done broke on the pass, and then you drop the interception that can take points off the board. Because if they're in the red zone and then they get the next play they get a touchdown or they get a field goal, those are points that you've taken off the board. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to make the play. I can know a run is coming. I can blitz, shoot the gap. I got you dead to rights, and whoop, whoop. See ya. Yeah, you did everything right except make the play. You have to execute. A la Kenneth Walker, 2021. Woo, you talking about get on my back. Wow. Man, that dude gave us nightmares. You talking about Josh Ross is probably still thinking about how he had that dude dead to rights all them times. Aiden Hutchinson too. Them dudes had that man dead to rights play after play. And this dude, spin move, boom, see ya. You talking about that was some college football 25. That's the type of stuff they do on that game, where you got them dead to rights. We know the play. We got him in the backfield, and this dude is making magic happen. Good God, that dude was a monster. Woo! Kenneth Walker, boy. You talking about gave us nightmares. That was some unbelievable stuff that dude was doing. I'm sorry. That dude gave us nightmares. Like, this is unbelievable. Exactly. Most of the time you know the plays, but that's the great example of we know what you're doing, we're on top of it, and we cannot make the play on this dude. He is just better than us. He is better than our defenders today. We cannot stop this man. Antoine says, I know one thing, Johnny. When you stack the box, you better be gap sound. Don't get caught slipping in the wrong gap. It's a touchdown when you stack the line. Exactly. And that's why I was saying earlier when he was saying stack the box. We done had plenty of times where teams done stacked the box. And and Donovan and Blake they make magic happen. Or like you said, the gap integrity is not sound and they take it to the house. If you stack the box, you have to be on point because there's only one man back, and sometimes there's not even a safety back. You have to be on point when you stack that box. If not, it's one missed tackle or one wrong gap from being a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about stacking the box. You got to be careful with that. Yep. Stacking that box is dangerous. Like, it's dangerous. Stacking the box just says we have your attention. That's all it says. We know you want to run the ball. Y'all got our attention. We putting 8, 9 guys in the box. But they still have to stop it. They still have to have great gap integrity. They still have to have sound tackling. You know, if not, hey, y'all just showing a lot of dudes in the box. We don't care. We're going to bring in more tight ends. We're going to bring in more offensive linemen, and we still going to run this ball down your throat. Y'all ain't stopping us from running. You know, sometimes teams do that 8 in the box just to deter you from running it. Like, all right, we got 8 guys in the box. Maybe this will stop them from trying to run it so much. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to drop into a cover 3, you know, and we still got guys in the you know, to defend the pass. That's why that's why people love like cover 3. You know what I'm saying? But when you're facing a good, stable run team that's going to run with conviction no matter how many guys you got in the box, oh, it's hell. Because you make that mistake and we going 60. See ya. Like, and that's what that sometimes as fans it makes us mad because we'll see like hardball calling run plays when the box is stacked. But he knows his offensive line is going to be able to execute the plays better than that defense consistently. So that's why he does it. He knows my offensive line is going to out execute these dudes more than they're going to out execute them. Ball game. You know, it bothers us because, like, why is he constantly running up the middle? Man, why does he keep calling the same play? Because he knows it's going to break. He knows. He's just wearing them down, and he knows it's going to come. You know, but that's partly why we're fans, and he's getting paid millions to coach. Sometimes these dudes don't be needing it, a la Don Brown. Don Brown, you could give me some of that money, and I call a better defense than that. Yeah, you could have gave me some of that money, and you'll still have a job, maybe. Exactly. We ain't flinching. We gonna run that ball down your throat. We don't care if you got 8 men in the box. You still got to stop it. You got to stop it. Can you stop it consistently? If not, it's gonna be a long day for you. But I done made it to the house, y'all. I'm about to go in here. I'm gonna try to make some videos of some of that stuff, some of the questions I didn't answer that I said I was gonna make separate videos for, and get on this college football some. The game is addicted. That's what be messing me up. I be getting on this game. But I appreciate y'all. Yep, the 9-on-7 drill. That's a great point right there, Jay Marion. And that drill makes Michigan able to out tough guys because they're used to going against unfavored, being in unfavored circumstances. That was a great drill to add in. Those were great drills to add in to build that toughness and to know how to execute when those guys are in the box like that. That was a great drill. I appreciate y'all joining. I'm about to go in here and chill out after work. Hopefully make some content and not get stuck on this game. But as always, like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.